In the diagram, O is the center of the circle ABCDE. The diameter AD is produced to F. An angle CDF is equal to 134 degrees. And so here we have this diagram, and our goal is to calculate the size of angle ABC. So they want us to figure out what is the size of angle ABC. Now, angle ABC, let's highlight that. Let's highlight that angle, right? So we're looking at angle ABC. And so this is the angle right here that we're trying to find. The same one. What is the size of this angle? All right. Angle ABC. All right. So that's the size. That's the angle that we're trying to figure out, this angle right here, angle B. Okay. And so let's move on. So we need to figure out what is the size of this particular angle. But they have given us hints. So we know that 134 degrees is this particular angle right here. But we know that we are on a straight line. All right. And angles on a straight line at a common point must be equal to 180 degrees. And so that means that 180 degrees minus 134 degrees is going to be equal to 46. And so that means that this right here is 46 degrees because angles on a straight line at a common point must add up to 180 degrees. And so this is 46. But what we notice is that we have a line segment that runs from from the center of the circle to the circumference, which means that this is the radius, right? So let's put that there. So this right here is a radius, all right? And we also have a line segment that runs from the center of the circle to the circumference, which means that this also is a radius. And so that means that we have a triangle. So we have this triangle COD, in which these two sides are equal. And if the two sides are equal, then the two angles are equal. So if this is 46 degrees, then this must also be 46 degrees as well. And so this is 46 and this is 46. Now, what is going to be the size of this angle though? Well, we know that angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So this angle right here is going to be equal to, what we're going to do is we're going to add 46 plus 46. And when we add 46 plus 46, we take that sum and subtract it from 180 degrees. And so that means that this angle right here is 88. And so 88, 46, and 46 must add up to 180 degrees. All right. So far we figured out that this is 46. We figured out that this is 46. And we also figured out that this right here is 88 degrees. Now, if this is 88, these two angles right here are vertically opposite. And vertically opposite angles are equal. So if this is 88, then this right here must also be 88 degrees. Why? Because vertically opposite angles are equal. All right, now, so we have this is 88, this is 88, but this is a common point. And we know that angles around a point is equal to 360 degrees. And so what we're gonna do is, since we're gonna figure out what is this angle and what is this angle, what we're gonna do is we're gonna say, okay, let's take 360 and minus it with 88 plus 88, and 88 plus 88 is 88 plus 88 is going to be 176, and 180 minus 176 is equal to, 88 plus 88 is equal to 176, and 360 minus 176 is 184. So we take this 184 and we divide it by 2, and that gives us 92. And so what does that mean? That means that this is 92 and this is 92. And the reason why that's the case is because when we add up all these angles, all these four angles, you know the angles around a point must be equal to 360 degrees. So 92 plus 88 plus 92 plus 88 all must add up to 360 degrees. And how do we figure out that this is 92? Well, all we did was we took 88 and 88, we add them, and we subtract that and that sum from 360 degrees. That gave us 184. But we had to split 184 into these two angles evenly. And so this is 92 and this is 92. Now, the next thing that we know is we know that angles at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. And so what does that mean? That means that, let me highlight, right? Let me highlight. That means that this angle right here, which is at the center, right? So this is the center. This angle right here, which is at the center of the circle, is going to be twice the angle at the circumference. All right. So this angle right here that I have highlighted in yellow, this angle is going to be, this angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. And so if we add 88 plus 92 plus 88, what do we get? Well, 92 plus 88 plus 88 is going to be equal to 262. Again, 88 plus 92 plus 88, or 92 plus 88 and 88 is going to give us 262. But if you want to figure out what is the size of this angle at the circumference, we have to divide by 2. So we have 268 divided by 2, and that gives us 134. And the reason why this is 134, because if you take 134 and you multiply it by 2, you get the sum of these angles, which is 268. And that is what is the size of angle ABC. The size of angle ABC is 134 degrees. Why? Because of all these, right? And in particular, because angles at the center, and in particular, because angles at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. Okay, let's move on to figure out what is angle OCD. Now, because we have already fill in a lot of the angles, that's good because it's going to help us with the rest of these questions. And so angle OCD, so this is C, right? So we have to figure out what is the size of angle OCD, all right? Now we already figured what that is. That's this angle, right? Angle OCD. Well, the way how we got angle OCD, we said that that's 46 degrees, and we know that because, well, the first thing we did was we say, okay, 134, we subtract that from 180, and that gave us 46. And because angles on a straight line add up to, angles on a straight line at a common point add up to 180 degrees. So if this is 134, this must be 46. All right, and then we notice that this right here is the radius, and this right here is the radius. And so what does that mean? That means that these two sides are equal. And if the two sides are equal, that means that the two angles are equal. So if this is 46, this must also be 46. And so that means that angle OCD is equal to 46 degrees. Okay, let's move on to the next one. They want us to figure out what is the size of angle DOC. Angle DOC. So let's figure that out. Angle DOC, DOC. So this is D, this is O, and this is C. Okay, angle DOC. So angle D, O, and C. Angle DOC. Well, angle DOC, the way we figured that out is we said that, okay, that this is, this side is equal to this side because both of them are the radius of the circle. And so if this is 46, this must also be 46. But angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So we take 46 and add it with 46. And we take that sum and subtract it from 180 degrees. And when we subtract, we get 88 degrees. So that means that this angle right here is 88 degrees. So we have 88 plus 46 plus 46, and that gives us 180 degrees. All right, so that means that angle DOC is equal to 88 degrees. All right, next we need to figure out what is the size of angle DEC, right? Angle DEC, let's highlight that. Angle DEC. What is the size of angle DEC? So we have angle DEC. Angle DEC. Okay, so what we actually want to figure out is what is the size of, what we actually want to figure out is what is the size of this angle right here. The same angle right here. What is the size of this angle? All right. Now, if we notice carefully, angle E is actually part of is actually part of, let me use a different color. It's actually part of this triangle, right? So this triangle right here. And so that's important because angle E is part of this triangle. What do we know about this triangle? Well, what we do know is we know that um, this side is equal to this side. And we know that because OE is a radius because it runs from the center of the circle to the circumference. And OD is a radius because it runs from the center of the circle to the circumference. So both of these sides must be equal. And if both of these sides are equal, that means that this angle right here must be equal to that angle. And we know the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So angle DEC is going to be equal to 180 degrees minus 92. And we use 92 because that's this angle, right? That's this angle inside of the triangle. And so we have 180 degrees minus 92 degrees. And when we subtract, we get 88. But we have to take 88 and split it into two angles, right? Evenly. So 88 divided by 2 is going to be 44. And so that's why we have that. This angle right here, right? This angle right here is 44 degrees. And the same thing is true because this angle right here is also 44 degrees. And so what does that mean? That means that angle DEC is 44 degrees. And that's the answer to this particular question.